Hi, thank you so much, Ms. Silver, for meeting with me today. I really appreciate you taking the time to come in. I absolutely love having Araya in my class. She brings such a thoughtful and joyful presence to our environment. And I'm really excited to share her progress with you today. Okay. So my goal is to walk you through the assessments we use and explain what they actually measure in simple terms and talk about how we can continue working together to support Orion's growth. Okay. First, I'd like to talk about the Core Advantage Assessment. This is an authentic observation-based assessment. What that means is Araya is not pulled aside to take a formal test. Instead, I observe her doing everyday classroom experiences, doing work time, small group, large group, planning, and recall. I take anecdotal notes about what she says, how she solves problems, how she interacts with peers, and how she approaches learning tasks. Those observations are aligned with developmental indicators in areas like social, emotional development, language, literacy, math, and approaches to learning. What I really value about this tool is that it captures Araya in her natural learning environment. Okay? One of Araya's strongest areas is her social emotional development. She demonstrates self regulation and emerging conflict resolution skills. For example, during work time, I observed her tell a peer, let's take turns when they both wanted the same material. That shows maturity and developing executive functioning skills. She also shows strong expressive language skills during recall time. She explains what she worked on using detailed sentences and clear sequencing. That tells me she's developing narrative skills and cognitive organization. One area we are continuing to strengthen is phonological awareness, specifically consistent letter sound recognition. Araya recognizes many uppercase letters, and we are building her confidence with lowercase letters and matching letters to their sounds. In class, I am supporting her through small group phonics instruction, hands-on literacy centers, and sound games that help strengthen that letter sound connection. We use multisensory approaches because children learn best when they can see, hear, and physically engage with material. Okay. At home, you can support a ride by reading together daily and gently emphasizing beginning sounds. You might say ball starts with B. What sound do you hear? You also point out letters on signs or packages. Keeping it playful makes a big difference. Next, I would like to share Araya's kindergarten reading assessment results. This assessment focuses specifically on early literacy benchmarks, things like letter identification, phonemic awareness, and comprehension. It helps us determine if children are developing the foundational skills needed for kindergarten readiness. Araya demonstrates strong listening comprehension. When I read aloud, she can retell key parts of the story and identify characters and events. That shows growing inferential thinking and memory skills. She also is very engaged during reading time. That motivation and interest in books is such a strong predictor of future reading success. We are continuing to build her fluency with lowercase letter recognition and blending simple sounds together into words. In guided reading groups, we practice stretching out sounds and blending them together. I model the strategy first, and then she practices with support. Over time, that builds decoding confidence. So at home, reading together for 10 to 15 minutes each day is one of the most powerful supports. After reading, you can ask Araya to retell the story in her own words. You can also practice blending simple words like cat and ask her to put the sounds together. Okay. These small, consistent moments truly strengthens literacy development. And for the final portion of the assessment, I will review the MSTEP results for Cambry Demo. This is a state standardized assessment that measures grade level proficiency in reading and math. Unlike observational assessment, this is a formal measure aligned with Michigan academic standards. Cambry demonstrates strength in reading comprehension, especially identifying main ideas and supporting details. That reflects strong analytical and critical thinking skills. One area for growth is multi-step mathematical problem solving, particularly interpreting word problems and identifying relevant information. Okay. In instructions, we would use scaffolding strategies, breaking problems into smaller steps, modeling, think aloud, reasoning, and providing guided practices to build independence. At home, you can support this by incorporating real life math like measuring ingredients or calculating totals with shopping. Encourage your children to explain their thinking, asking, how did you figure that out? Strengthens reasoning skills. I want to emphasize that assessment is not about labeling a child, it's about guiding instructions. Each assessment gives us insight into how Araya learns best and how we can intentionally support her development. I am very proud of Araya. Okay, she is growing socially, emotionally, and academically. When families and teachers work together in partnership, children truly thrive. Ms. Silvertooth, thank you for being an important part of our learning journey. Please always feel comfortable reaching out. We appreciate you so much. Do you have any questions or concerns?
No, Miss Abby, I don't have any questions at this time. Thank you for taking the time out to work with Araya.
Okay, thank you so much, Ms. Silvertooth, and you have a wonderful day.
You too.